Hi, my name is Schuler. My assignment was on the homeless population in Wilmington, Delaware. Mm, So, a little bit more about the homelessness issue is that homelessness rates have increased drastically over the years. There has been an increased cost of living, not enough resources, and not enough funding for those resources, like getting individuals who are homeless back into civilization, addressing cost of living, and also just affordable healthcare. So we are having funding issues within all those aspects. My survey was conducted through a windshield survey while driving around Wilmington, Delaware. Primarily drove around Maryland Avenue, the riverfront, Happy Valley, and the east side. So a lot of my data and information are gathered from these areas. Some types that I did notice were a lot of apartments, single family homes, townhomes, and homeless encampments. A lot of those areas were under under overpasses, bridges, anything where it's a form of shelter from weather. Where I noticed a couple of these homeless encampments, not a whole lot, but I did notice a few. And I also noticed many homes were available for rent or for sale. Some transportation and infrastructures of the city I noticed were DART busing, the SEPTA train station, which takes you to other states and other parts of Delaware. A lot of sidewalks, and around the riverfront, primarily, I noticed bike and scooter rentals. The riverfront is very vast, and it is known for its walking paths that start in Wilmington and then can take you as far as Newcastle. It's a very well established walking path. Some greenery and recreational spacing I saw within the city was Brandywine Park. They have a bunch of walkways and playgrounds for children and the community. There is also the riverfront with the 76ers field houses, and it connects with some of those walking spaces that I did mention earlier. Um, it's these two areas are very adjacent to each other. And then Kuzusco's Park has a bunch of walkways, basketball courts, and playgrounds. Both parks I know hold events where it gathers the community. Brandywine Park specifically, I know they have weekend farmers markets where local shops come together and they host this beautiful farmers market, and it encourages the community to come together and explore what the area has to offer, and that is hosted at Brandywine Park. Some public amenities are that central YMCA, where kids can go swimming, work out, have after school programs, and it keeps children and even families like entertained, and keeping them interacted with the community. And the YMCA also does host local events. There's also the Delaware Art Museum, the Wilmington Public Library, and the two parks that I mentioned in the previous slide. Some commercial establishments is there's a bunch of restaurants, fast food places within very close proximity to each other. So there is a variety of options. There's a bunch of pharmacies like Walgreens, CVS's, did see a couple urgent cares, a few grocery stores, and a bunch of corner stores. Some environmental hazards are that Cherry Island landfill, which is adjacent to the city. That's where everyone's trash goes to and is disposed of, burned, and things like that, which does cause some form of air pollution, which is not super helpful or healthy to breathe in day to day. There are parts of the area of the city are susceptible to flooding, especially on that east side where it does connect to the river. And also the Port of Wilmington brings in ships. Those ships also are a form of pollution with the amount of heavy traffic within the water and nearby. Some strengths and weaknesses of the community are some of the strengths I noticed is that there's multiple local food kitchens within a less than a mile radius of each other. And the reason that is that individuals who are homeless struggle with transportation. They can't afford it. They don't have access to it. They don't have a car. They don't know anyone with a car. So having multiple food kitchens nearby or food supplies nearby that are walking distance is super helpful for these individuals to get some form of nutrition in them. There are a couple healthcare centers, one of them being Wilmington Hospital. There is that West Side Health that takes in individuals who are underinsured or have no insurance. And then we also have the YWCA Home Life Management. It is open 24/7. It Their goal is to eliminate racism, empower women, and also help those who are homeless get back on their feet and enter them back into society. Some weaknesses I did see within parts of the city is more so in the more economic area where there's a bunch of high-end businesses. There's the the judicial part of Wilmington. They do have hostile architectures. The purpose of this is so that homeless people don't congregate in this area and don't sleep on these certain specific spots, like one of them being this bench, which is listed below. They have these dividers to prevent homeless people um from laying on these benches. um we also have safety concerns and environmental life. There are a bunch of abandoned facilities and homes. These areas are susceptible to individuals are susceptible to illnesses and even potential harm when people go into these homes or these warehouses or shops. It's not safe. The infrastructure is not safe, that they can get injured through falling, nails, things like that. The home is just not sturdy and suitable for living. A lot of homes did have some boarded up windows and doors, like the one shown in this picture. It's boarded up. It does not look sturdy or well off for an individual to live in. I've also noticed some metal bars on windows to prevent break ins, a bunch of graffiti on homes, businesses, and even vehicles. Did notice some broken glass on grounds. I can't tell you if that's based off of windows or if that's even off of cars, but that is a safety concern for just pedestrians and then homeless people. We don't want people stepping on them. We don't want people to get cuts because that can lead to infection and lead to more harm. Did see a couple use needles on the ground, which is a big health safety concern, not only for pedestrians who might get stuck by it, but it's also a way for homeless people who have substance abuse to use those substances to inject into their body. We want to prevent bloodborne pathogens, and needles is one of them, especially used needles. We want to eliminate that. I did notice a lot of unorganized trash. There's a lot of littering. People just leaving their trashes on the corner, which encourages rodents, bugs, things like that, who can also transmit diseases and illnesses. And Wilmington does just have a high crime rate. Some community demographics and health indicators are there are dirty walkways. Not only is this not aesthetically pleasing, it also can lead to illnesses. Like I said in the previous slide, that trash can cause infestations, dirty needles can cause bloodborne pathogens, and having these used walkways not being safe can cause illness into society. There are a bunch of rundown homes, homes that are not suitable for living, but people who are homeless are finding a form of shelter, which can cause harm to themselves. Seeing a bunch of sick homeless people through coughing, just overall general malaise, and I did see a couple that are vomiting. Um, some of these homeless people are showing signs and symptoms of drug abuse and addiction. And I did see one individual who looked like he was drinking something out of a paper bag, and then others individuals who were showing some form of side effect of addiction or drug use. Was the bent over fold, just overall did not look well, missing teeth. These are common signs of drug abuse and overall just a decline in their health. Some data review are 2/3 of the homeless population have a history of drug or alcohol abuse. I did notice that with individuals being bent over when they're standing, the used needles on the ground, and then just the overall not looking well. There is an increased cost of living within the city. So there are multiple vacancies of homes, advertisement for rentals, and a bunch of leasing advertisements for warehouses. About 56% of the homeless population living on streets. Many of these individuals I saw were sleeping on sidewalks, on stoops, and under those overpasses. And I did see a couple living in tent, but majority of those individuals were sleeping on under areas where that provide shelter from the weather. Some interventions and development efforts that I did notice was Sunday Breakfast Mission and Mary Mother Hope Housing. Both of these areas provide temporary housing to individuals and is also a form of a food kitchen where they're providing nutrition to these individuals. Westside Health is a great area. Form of healthcare for individuals who are underinsured or have no insurance or healthcare opportunities at all. So, any questions or concerns, they can go here and they are provided a form of care. I know within Westside Health, they do have some resources to help individuals find affordable healthcare as well. There is also that YWCA that provides financial and housing support. It is a great organization that their goal is to help individuals who are homeless re enter back into society. And these are my resources.